Welcome back to Tuntum Network, ladies and gentlemen. I've been away for a while. I apologize for staying away for so long. It's been almost 2 months. This is Cyrus. I'm back. I had to deal with a few things, which thankfully I'm done with them, so now I can get back to what I used to do. And thank you to all those who sent me emails and those who sent me WhatsApp messages inquiring of me. Everything is fine. I'm back. If you can see from my background, the studio is a little bit changed. I had to move studios, so now I'm all set and ready to go. And I'm starting off doing things differently, unlike before. There are a few things that I want to start talking about. It started with politics. And if you know today, the biggest news everywhere in Africa and the world, especially in the world, everywhere in the world, is the BRICS meeting, which is started today. The presidents were coming through yesterday. I'm going to give you all that fella today. So it's good to be back. So I mentioned this a couple of months ago about the BRICS nations meeting in August. We are in August. Today is the 22nd of August, and they are meeting from today to the 24th of August. A lot of things are being discussed. President Lula da Silva is here. He came, I think, yesterday. So I'll be showing you pictures of how they all arrived at the airport. Lula da Silva from Brazil is here. President Xi Jinping of China is here. President Modi of India has arrived. And yours truly, President Ramaphosa of South Africa, who is the host, is there. Whether fortunate or unfortunate, I don't know. But President Putin couldn't make the trip. President Putin is not here. President Putin is not here. And he's replaced with the Russian foreign minister, Sergei Lavrov. Okay, he is representing President Putin in this summit, and it's happening from today. I'm told from the news that they are starting their first meeting 4 p.m. South African time today. So everybody should be on the lookout for them. Now, there are a lot of people who are saying to me, Cyrus, why is BRICS so important to you? Especially people living in their localities in Ghana. They are like, well, these things don't impact us in any way. Well, I used to think like that until I had to change my mind. Because three things happen. Everybody should be concerned about the direction of the BRICS as it stands now. For the ordinary person, I'll say this. For those who do not care about politics and don't know how this will affect anything, this is where you are wrong. Because everything, for instance, in Ghana, is controlled by the dollar CD rate. So if anything should happen to the dollar and cause the dollar to go up, it will affect you no matter where you are. Whether you are in Accra, whether you are in Kigali, whether you are in Johannesburg, wherever in Africa that you are, which your economy is having something to do with the dollar, it will affect you some way, somehow. So get used to it. And for those who do business, you know what the plans of BRICS are. One of the main plans is to de-dollarize the world's economy, that the world's economy no more depends on the dollar for trade. So if you're a businessman and you think this is not going to affect you, you got it all wrong. If the dollar should be affected in any way, shape, or form and cause the dollar to devalue, it may affect your business. And if it goes up, it may affect your business in a certain way. And for the African continent as well, it helps us to align ourselves where to do business, okay, moving forward. So everybody will have an impact of this. And why am I personally so interested in speaking on this subject? You see, I've lived in Asia before, so I pretty much know and understand how Asians are. Let me take, for instance, India. Indians are one people I know in the world who are very, very smart. Don't ever underestimate an Indian. If you are doing business with an Indian, or you work with an Indian, or you are in a classroom with an Indian, anybody will tell you that Indians in the classroom are very smart. In business, they are very savvy. In every aspect of the world, they are very savvy. If you don't know, look at what is happening in the UK. The UK got a Brexit to leave, to come out of, from Europe, only to be led by an Indian. So they wanted to stay British, and then now they are led by an Indian. And Indians are making waves all over the place. He's not the Prime Minister of the UK. His name is Rishi Sunak. He is the Prime Minister of the UK, and he's an Indian. And if you didn't know, In America today, in the politics of America, in the Republican Party, there is an Indian man who is making serious rounds. He's gaining grounds left, right, center. I like the guy. His name is Vivek, but I don't think he's going to win the slot to run for the Republican Party, because all indications point to the fact that President Donald Trump, is coming back again. So Indians are people you have to reckon with. They are guys who are serious about doing business. So Indians are coming, and the Chinese are here. The Chinese president is here. Xi Jinping is here, and I've lived in China for many years, and I speak and understand Chinese Mandarin fluently. So I can attest to that China will not be wasting its time with BRICS if nothing really serious was happening. If you go to China today, it's a very, very developed country. I'll be honest with you. I got to China somewhere in the latter part of the 2000s, and even when I got there, development was almost everywhere. Roads, highways, sky trains, skyscrapers, subways, everything, bridges. They had constructed a lot in China. So when these presidents from these big, big countries are coming, then you should know something significant is happening. Remember, President Xi Jinping is not an ordinary president. And the same thing for President Modi of India. President Xi Jinping is president of more than 1.2 billion people. He is president of a country which is equivalent to all the black people in the world. Think about that. All the black people in the world. The black people in Africa is just around 1.2 billion people. And that is just about the population of China. And that is just Chinese people living in China. It has nothing to do with the Chinese people living in other countries. There's a lot of Chinese people living in other countries. And he's the president of that number of people. And the same thing to India. I'm told India has slightly overtaken, I may be wrong, India has slightly overtaken China as the world's biggest population. All right? So these two presidents are no joke to be played with. So whenever they are involved in any business, you should take it seriously. And President Putin, of course, President Putin. Who doesn't know President Putin today? All right? President Putin is part of this. And their main agenda, everybody is aware, they want to take the dollar's power away. They want to introduce a new currency that will fight the US dollar. They want to break the monopoly of the US dollar for so many years. And this is going to bring a lot of opportunities. That is what makes me excited and makes me want to talk about the BRICS. President Ramaphosa of South Africa speak about expanding the BRICS, all right, bringing in more countries on board. And there are many countries on the standby who
supports the expansion of the membership of BRICS. The value of BRICS extends beyond the interests of its current members. For its efforts to be effective, BRICS needs to build partnerships with other countries that share its aspirations and perspectives. An expanded BRICS will represent a diverse group of nations with different political systems that share a common desire to have a more balanced global order.
And these are not small countries, all right? So it is a serious thing happening in South Africa today. All eyes are on them. For the next 3 days, whatever is coming out of South Africa is going to either shape or reshape how the world's economy or politics has been for so many years. The West has dominated for so long. This is my problem with the West. This is my biggest problem with the West. They have dominated for so long and it hasn't benefited Africa in any real sense. You see where my problem is? They have been in control of Africa's resources for so long and Africa hasn't benefited. And so if there is any glimpse of hope coming from somewhere or within Africa, I want to hold on to that. I want a situation where Africa can explore, Africa can get things done outside of the West, because we have been dealing with them for so long. So I'm happy with what is happening in South Africa. I want to see what will come out of it, and I want to see if really there's going to be a BRICS currency coming out of that. All right. And speaking of BRICS, I want to take my time and talk about few African countries, because honestly, many African heads of states, like President Cyril Ramaphosa said, have been invited. He mentioned that more than 30 African presidents and heads of states have been invited for this summit. But my problem with that is this. I hope they are not going there to beg for arms. I hope they are not going I hope they are not going to the summit to be asking for loans. Because if that is the purpose for going to the summit, then they might as well not go there at all. This is not the summit to go and beg. It's about time we stop all this begging thing when we are sitting on so much resources. I don't know what is happening here. So far, it looks as if President of Kenya, President Ruto, is the only African leader who is actually saying something on the world stage.
We need a financial transaction tax at a global level where even countries like Kenya pay. We do not want anything for free. We want another organization of equals, where you have as much say because you pay, as much as we do because we also pay. That's the organization we are looking for. And that is why we are saying we need a new financial architecture.
Something really serious and meaningful. All right? And he's pushing for the Union of Africa to be strengthened so that we can make strides. Because clearly, if we want to go as individual countries, we won't make anything out of it. The West will just sweep us away. The power is in our numbers and in our unity. So that is where we should be heading towards. And Nigeria should have been on that stage a long time ago. As a matter of fact, the president of Nigeria should be speaking more. Nigeria should be a part of BRICS. But what is happening? We only hear them talk much about themselves and their countries until when it is the world stage, and then we don't find them. Okay? The president of Nigeria should be at the forefront of this, because Nigeria is a big economy and a big country. And my country, Ghana. Oh man, when I talk about Ghana, because there was a time in my lifetime when I was so sure. These days, what I think about, when I actually look at the pictures of me at the campaign grounds of our current president, I feel so sorry for myself. Because there was a time when I was so sure that our current president, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, was going to change the fortunes of Ghana. I was so positively, absolutely sure that this man has struggled for so long. He had waited for so long. I even thought he has been, I don't want to use certain words. He has struggled for so long. And he was speaking the right things. He was saying the right things. And I knew something big was coming until he arrived. And if anybody told me that this could be how low Ghana would go in such a short time, I would have said to the person, you were a liar. Not under the watch of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, not under his watch. But this is where we are. Inflation, the dollar rate, prices of goods and services, joblessness, taxes, left, right, center. I mean, it is so hard to live in Ghana now. Even though I'm a typical Ghanaian who wants to live here, work here, and make my money here. It's so hard to live here now. Food that we used to buy for 6 Ghana cedis. Food that we used to buy for 11 Ghana cedis, as in $1, is now 30 Ghana cedis, 50 Ghana cedis. I mean, things have just changed, right? Under our eyes, it's gone. The economy is gone. Okay? So I don't want to mention that. But let us all keep our eyes open as, you know, the BRICS meetings are going on. I hear President Xi Jinping is having a bilateral meeting with President Modi of India. When these two giants collide, you know something big is about to happen. When China and India are talking, you know something significant is going on. What is happening to AU? Where is AU? I don't know. Where is AU? This is where AU should have been represented big time. Where a president of AU is in bilateral talks with individual presidents, with Russia, with India, with China, with Brazil, and all that. But where is AU? It's so sad. It's very, very sad. So I'm happy to come back and give you the latest of the news. I'm looking forward to what is going to happen in the coming days. In the next 3 days, something significant should come out. I can't wait to give you details. And remember, I am not here to just give you any ordinary detail. My concern is for Africa. When I hear anything that is going to benefit this continent, that is when I'll say something. Outside of that, I'm not in a hurry to tell you, no. That is not my interest. My interest has to do with how African countries are going to benefit as a result of being a member or partnering or working hand in hand with the BRICS. That is what I care about. That is where I care about. So guys, I'm back. This is my first one, so I wouldn't take too much of your time. And I'll be bringing you more of this in the coming days. And different topics are coming in business, in religion, in lifestyle. It's all coming up. Thank you so much for being a part of my podcast. God bless you. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share. Leave a comment if you have to. And above all, stay positive, for good things are about to hit this continent. Let's keep the fire flaming. Let's keep the fire going. Good things are coming. I'll see you again. Bye-bye for now.